Look at me.
Sure.
Look at me.
Sure.
I'm the captain now.
Whoa, whoa. As you can see, that's a rainy day. Los Angeles fireworks is going off. People are celebrating 2023. So happy New Year's to everybody else. Happy 2023. Hope the year brings you a lot of good fortunes, a lot of good luck. And who knows, this could be the year that you strike it rich or, you know, land a perfect deal, get the perfect job, buy a home, you know, meet someone, whatever, you know. May 2023 brings you the best, okay? But I'm gonna go over the top 10 best players in the NBA right now, all right? That I think that is the top 10 best players in the game. But before I even do that, I want to say RIP, the beginning of the year, first passing of 2023 in hip hop terms is Gangsta Boo from 3 6 Mafia. Now, I don't know a lot about 3 6 Mafia. All I know is that they make that song "Gotta Stay Fly." That song was hot. It was a summer anthem. I know that song. Okay, I'm familiar with that song. Rest of the songs I am not familiar with. Okay, I can't tell you to. I'm not from Memphis. I don't know all about their songs. Right, but nevertheless, shout out to everybody that you know doing their thing. You know, and may the best wishes to you, man. Before I even get started, also I'm drinking bubbly sparkling water. Now, I got it because it was you know, you buy one, then you get another one for like half price, stuff like that. So I decided to buy them, but this is not really my specialty water. My specialty water is really hint water. Okay, hint water is my favorite drink, actually. You know, it's water with like a fruit flavored. Okay, just like a little taste of fruit inside of the water. It's perfect, man. If I was younger, I probably wouldn't like a drink like that, you know. But nevertheless, I do like that type of drink. And also, the Brooklyn Nets is cooking. They won what, like 11 straight? They're right there on the toes of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. They're making their presence being felt. Kevin Durant is emerging. I don't know if he's an MVP candidate, but nevertheless, he's merging, okay, to being a star. Well, a superstar for this league this year. And you're winning games, you're being the title contender. We suspect you to go out in a blaze of glory come playoff time. Come playoff time, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to see no getting swept. I want to see you go out there and do your thing. You got all the pieces you need to take your team to the next level. You have all the pieces you need to go to the NBA Finals. You have everything that you could possibly ask for to help lift your team to the promised land. All right. Now it's 2023. I can't say it's a good start of the year for me. I still got a lot of things I need to work out, but nevertheless, you know, you never know what tomorrow brings you. So I wanted to make this the best, effort, I guess, because you never know, what's going to happen the next day. So R.I.P. the Gangsta Boo. You know, so this is the first live stream of 2023. Lots of games still got to go down for the second half of the NBA. Boxing is still going to be hot and popping in 2023. Be on the lookout for that. You may get Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford, but I think Terrence Crawford is going to end up going up against Josh Taylor. That's what I heard. Okay, now it is time to do my top 10 best players in the game right now at this moment. Now, I'm going to do some honorable mentions. Steph Curry is an honorable mention. If he was playing, he most likely would be in my top 10, but He got hurt, so I got to take him off the list. And the Warriors won like 4 games without Steph Curry. Okay, so they're managing to get the job done without Steph Curry. They're getting wins. They're playing full team basketball. Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole, they balling. They playing good. They doing their thing. They swinging the gauntlet. They're stacking the Danos. You know, they're doing all of that stuff. And they got their team, I think, 9th seed in the Western Conference. So they're moving up. The Golden State Warriors going to make the postseason, if you ask me. They're 9th seed right now. So they're going to get there. You know, what up, Kid Trunks? What up, Zach? All right. So Steph Curry's not in my top 10 for best players in the game right now because he's injured. AD is not in my top 10 because he's injured. You know, but he was playing out of his mind and on a verge of being an MVP candidate until click. You know, who gets more hurt than AD? You know, 2023, man. We was running through the dope. Now I turned into 80 in a hole. Plus I showed these motherfuckers they ain't wavy as the GOAT. My nose start to itch and his money's getting close. If you move close, I hit you with these shells and I bet you the revenue call out. One call to the lion's den. Then the apes all come out. Now the shells everywhere like a baseball dugout. You know what Queensbridge be about. Now I'm jumping off the ropes. Flying with elbows like I'm jumping off the ropes. Oh, man. Yeah, that hint water is not here yet, but I don't even know if it's still around, man. Do they even still make them? I've been gone. I haven't been in the US for a whole year now, and yeah, are they even still making that drink? But I got sparkling water to replace it right now. As you can see, you can tell the background. This is the United States. You can look at the background and see that there's a difference in the background. All right, so okay, my number 10. Before I start doing anything and people start having some rebuttals or disagreements, my number 10 best player in the game right now is none other than LeBron James. Okay, now his team isn't winning as much games as they're supposed to, and that's mainly due from him. But at the same time, they've been in these games. They should be above 500 right now. They should be a 9th seed or an 8th seed already. They've lost so many close games that they should have won. But LeBron James couldn't close the game out. For some reason, he was more fashion-weighted with getting numbers and stats or providing empty stats just to say, look, I got my 30. But when he's finally decides to say, F all of that, I'm just playing basketball to win games. If I get 40 and I put 40 on your neck and you can't respond back, then we're going to win the game. All right? So there's 3 different ways of having effective basketball. All right? One way, you could just go out there and kick somebody's ass. That's one form of effective basketball, and that's what he did against the Atlanta Hawks. Take no substitutes at all, you know. But if you fail to make the postseason this year, LeBron James, you was only good for a season, like Jeremy Lin, because you only won 1 championship with the Lakers. So you was only good for 1 season. Pretty much, right? So LeBron James comes in at number 10. Number 9 is Kawhi Leonard. The Clippers are winning games. Kawhi's been playing some games now. He's coming almost back to his true form. He's dropping about 20-something a game. He's getting back into Kawhi-esque form. So he comes in at number 9. He's the 9th best player in the game for me. Number 8 is really a bit, you know, on a debating side because he's very young. You know, LeBron sanity. Yeah, it was LeBron sanity against the Atlanta Hawks. Number 8 for me. It's going to be a bit chippy because he's so young. But he's playing like a top player in the league. And that's Zion Williamson. He got his Pelicans winning. They're a bunch of young crews. And you could tell his effect on his basketball team is putting pressure on a lot of people's necks. He's almost impossible to stop going towards the basket. He's powerful. He's big. He's like moving an armored truck. Okay, you can't mess with the guy. He's just a simple dominant. Okay, plain and simple. So yes, Zion at number 8 for me, and that's crazy. But hey, the Pelicans are winning. Our award winning. He's the captain of the team. He's having an effect on the team winning games. You know, this is a young crew. You know, it's not like they playing, you know, he does got some good talent. I would give you that much. CJ McCollum's a borderline all-star. Brandon Ingram, you know, he was an all-star for the last few seasons. So technically they got like 3 all-stars really on one team. So that's why he's so low at 8. I mean, you could bump him down to 10 if you want, you know, but that still doesn't take away the effect that he's having on the basketball court, you know. So he's at number 8 for me. Number 7 is none other than Nikola Jokic. Okay, you know I had to put him on there, man. He's playing like he's really worthy of an MVP this year. He got not the 1, not the 2, not the 3, not the 4, but the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Now you have no problem with me saying that you're an MVP candidate because you're winning now. 6th seed, I don't give losers titles. What was that drop? Wow. That's my One Punch Man that just dropped. See, he can't hang. Now, even the One Punch Man was like, hey, hold up. You got him at number 7, I'm killing myself. He just jumped to his death right there. You know, that's some ghost shit. That thing was secured, locked on top of here, and I just fell down. But the Joker, man, you're putting up those type of numbers that you're putting. You're leading your team to victories. You got the number 1 seed. You're dominant out there, man. You're putting up like 47, 21, and 20. He ain't no joke. He fucking kicking everybody's ass with those type of numbers and getting his team the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Even though the Western Conference is iffy, he still got the job done. Our award winning. I don't care how he did it. He did it. And now the pressure is on you because I want you to perform like that in the postseason. And if you do that in the postseason, I will name you a superstar. But superstars are made in a postseason, not in a regular season. Only all-stars are made in a regular season. You're a boy in a regular season. You come a man in a postseason. Okay, so the Joker is at number 7 for me. Now, number 6 is a guy that's putting his whole team on the back. Luka Doncic. Okay, this guy's almost an MVP candidate every year too. You know, you can make a case that he's like a top 5 player in the league. Some people get that already. This young, you know, but Luka the Don, man, 60, 40, 51, and he's leading them to victories, okay? He dropped that damn 60-point triple-double on my Knicks. Remind me of Michael Jordan in the Garden dropping the double nickel, you know? Stuff like that, all right? Just going off on people. They may be fool's gold, but they're still the number 1 seed.
Your device isn't set up yet. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know why is that thing just goes off like that. That's my speaker. It just really went off. I didn't say anything about being connected to anything. Weird ass speaker. But this is the speaker that just went off while I was talking. Okay. Yes, that's the white Larry Bird. Now, Larry Bird ain't no joke, Z. Okay. Larry Bird is like the guy on White Man Can't Jump. He looks like a regular 9-to-5 guy. He looks like a guy that can't play basketball. And then when you get on the court, you're showing off, you're showboating, you're talking smack. Then he starts talking smack back to you. Then you say, okay, what the hell is going on here? Then he says, watch me drain this shot in your face. Then you're like, okay. He does it. Then you're like, holy shit. You know, what's going on here? You know, then he keeps doing it. He keeps doing it. Shot after shot. You know, he closes his eyes and hit a 3-point shot. You're like, what the? That's Larry Bird. Yeah, Larry Bird was a bad man. You know, he reminds me of that guy, A White Man Can't Jump. He had game. You know, he couldn't dunk or not like that, but he had game. And he looked like he didn't have no game. You know, that's the type of stuff when you go into the YMCA, a guy look old, fat, and slow, but he hitting jump shots, he busting your ass. So you were athletic, all of that extra superhero bullshit, and you can't even beat a guy that's out of shape, out of his prime, because he beating you with just basic fundamentals. That's Larry Bird for you, baby. That's Larry Bird for you, you know. And something that guy said in White Man Can't Jump, Woody Harrelson, he said, you guys are so concerned with looking good in basketball games and having stats, you put that first before winning. Now, that guy like Larry Bird, he puts winning first. That's why Larry Bird was just the winner. And Luka the Don is the modern day Larry Bird, so to speak. You know, you don't get Larry Bird's swagger, though. Larry Bird was rough and tough American, you know, straight off the farm. I pop shit in your face. You know, Larry Bird was tough. You know, Luka is like, you know, I shoot this shot in your face. You know, have a good day. You're very European-esque. You know, like you probably see him cross his legs like this and drink some tea. You know, that's the type of stuff that you will see Luka on. You know, so he's not quite like Larry Bird yet. Number 6. Okay. Wait, number 6 was Luka. Number 5 is Ja Morant. Okay. Now, he's been balling every single year. He got them back winning again. They almost made it to the finals last year. He may get to the finals this year. You got to give him the credit. He's the captain of the team, and he keeps winning. So you reward winning. Never reward losing. Okay, you got to reward people that lead their team to victories. And that's what Ja Morant does. So he comes in at number 5. All right. Number 4 is none other than Jason Tatum. The guy that led his team to the NBA Finals last year has now got the best record in the Eastern Conference. They look like the team that beat in the East. They look like they're going to go to the NBA Finals again. He's proven to be the alpha, the number 1 on his own basketball team. He's coming of age. He's trying to be the modern day Kobe Bryant. He's balling. So he's at number 3 for me. You know, simple. That's easy. I mean, number 4, sorry. Number 4 for me. That's easy work. Number 3, that you may say, hey, well, you should have switched places. Number 3, I'm giving to Joel Embiid. Now you say, what? Listen, Joel Embiid is an MVP candidate every single year. He carried that team on his back every single year. He does a lot of heavy lifting for that basketball team. Got them in the playoffs every single year. And here's the thing. Don't matter, he's playing with James Harden, but James Harden is not James Harden of old. He has to put so much, he does a lot of heavy lifting. And at least his numbers lead to his team winning games. So he single-handedly carries the 76ers. He's the heart and soul of the 76ers. He don't play good, they don't win. As simple as that. Or even have a chance of winning. So he comes at number 3, and he got robbed for MVP last year. So I'm giving him his flowers again this year. So he's at number 3. Number 2 is Durantula. Kevin Durant rose from the dead. You're the 2nd best player in the world. 2nd best player in the world. 11 straight wins. Put your team now as a title contender. You won some games even without Kyrie Irving. You was busting people's ass without Kyrie Irving. With Kyrie Irving, you guys became one of the most deadly duos. So Kevin Durant is number 2. Number 1, none other than Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay? The most dominant, best basketball player in the world is Giannis Antetokounmpo. He has his flaws, but he's still the most dominant. I'm going to go out there and bust your ass and have effective winning, effective rebounds, effective assists, effective scoring. Giannis Antetokounmpo checks everything off the board. Everything. So that is my top 10 best players in the NBA. All right. Now, I know everybody has a different list. So I suspect everybody to have a different list. You know, we all have different opinions and we all have different lists. So I suspect that, you know, why that thing goes off sometimes like that? It's just a weird speaker. It's like it has his mind of its own. It starts talking on its own by itself. But it's one hell of a speaker, man. That's one good speaker. It's loud as you know what. Good ass speaker, man. It's a Sony speaker. Shout out to Sony, dropping PlayStations, dropping good electronics. You know, shout out to the Philippines. Shout out to Zimbalis. Shout out to Manila. Shout out to New York City. Shout out to Queensbridge. Um, Shout out to Southside Jamaica, Queens. Shout out to the South Bronx. Shout out to Staten Island, Park Hill. Shout out to Harlem, the whole New York. All right. And yeah, man. Yesterday I enjoyed this. Put it right here for you. Prince Street style pizza, okay? You see that Italian flag? Hey man, you gotta always get it from the Italianos, okay? You don't get it from the Italianos, you know, official to the gristle pizza. That's how it's supposed to be, you know? None of that fake stuff. You know, my first few days getting back here in LA, you could tell you're back here when you're seeing some crazy stuff. I literally seen a guy get hit by a car. He gets flipped over as he gets hit by the car, right? He gets back up. Oh, that ain't shit. That ain't nothing. That's what he said. That was his exact words. Then he gets back into his own car, which was right next to the car that hit him. You know, I thought this guy was almost a goner because he bent down as the car is coming to hit him. And I don't know how he was able to maneuver, put his head up, and flip over the car. It was like a scene out of a movie. All right? And that's LA for you. The block has everybody living in their own world. Right? That's just how it is. You know. So these group of Mexican guys, they was drunk. They have some tequila in them. They're talking all that stuff, you know, and they messing around, harassing people that walk around the street. You know, you got to deal with that, you know. So it's always something in LA, man. It's really always something, you know. But I stopped by today because I ate this pizza. I wanted to play a little basketball. So I did play a little basketball, like, you know, just to get a little sweat. And everybody ran up on me, was like, yo, where have you been? Where are you? Yeah, man, where you been, man? You know, they didn't know I was gone. They didn't know I was overseas. Everybody was looking for me, you know. So, you know, they all gave me hugs and dabs, like, my man, P, he's back. You know, they wanted me to drink with them. I told them I don't drink, man. So, you know, take a shot. It's New Year's. I said, nah. I didn't do it before. I ain't going to do it now. You know, but they were lit. They had their little cup. They drinking tequila and their eyes are they're done. They're drunk, but they're done. You know, they're passing out on the grass. You know, they're drinking that shit. That's LA for you, man. As a matter of fact, the beginning of this intro, you know, I was showing you how LA was looking because it was raining for the last few days, you know, in Los Angeles, man. You know, Los Angeles is the city that sleeps, but it's also the city that stays scandalous. It's also the city that always has a lot of dark secrets. It is Gotham City, a secondary Gotham City. I think of New York as the real Gotham City. You know what I'm saying? You think of those gritty Batman movies, that's New York City. That's New York. You know? That's the essence of New York, Gotham City. LA is more like Metropolis, you know, where Superman is from. You know, New York is Gotham City. No, that's all. You got characters, you got criminals, you got vigilantes. That's Gotham City. All right. That's Gotham City. That's the real Gotham City. Shout out to New York, man. Best city in the world. There's no city in the world like New York. No place more urban. No place more genuine, okay, than New York City. No place more realer, all right? The people are real. You know, life is real. You know, they'll tell you to your face what their true opinion of you. That's what I love about New York. You know, proud to be from New York. And I carry it on my shoulders. I carry New York on my back, literally. I got the word Queensbridge on my back. I carry the hood on my back. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Philippines, Manila. Manila has a lot of urban landscape to it. They got a lot of, their skyline is nice. They got a nice skyline, lots of buildings, you know, beautiful skyline at night. You know, Manila represent. Shout out to Manila, man. They represent. Shout out to Zimbalas too. But that's a province that's a little more quiet. So it's a little bit different. You know. The link is in the chat. You can tell me what your top 10 basketball players is if you have them. You know, I don't know if somebody's still up. You guys are probably halfway past asleep because it's New Year's. But, you know, it is what it is. So. So, even though this has nothing to do with sports a little bit, I could go over some of my top 10 movies if somebody here movie buffs. Okay. Number 10 for me is Black Panther 2, the Wakanda Forever joint. Okay. I didn't like the movie really, but what I did like about it was just one character's performance, and that's the villain. Black Panther 1, I liked it, the villain. You know, I thought Michael B. Jordan stole the show a little bit. You know, he was gritty, he was grimy, he was hood. Black Panther was a little too foreign for me. You know, even though Chadwick Boseman killed that role, he made a perfect hero. You know, he was ill as Black Panther. I think both of those guys carried the movie. Black Panther 1, which is a classic. You know, that movie's a flat out classic. You know, and it changed movies, especially for African Americans, especially for the minorities. Black Panther 1 was a classic. Black Panther 2 was a lot of fuckery, a lot of shit. It was a shit show. But the only good thing about it was the villain. He brought the Mexican culture to the Black Panther movie. And he reminded me of some Mexicans here in LA. You know, every time he do his villain shit, he put his face close to the screen like he was drunk. Like, what? What the fuck you say? This motherfucker was drunk. He was literally like drunk in front of the screen all the time. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? But it was so crazy that you couldn't take your eyes off it. It was fascinating because he looked drunk. Okay, this dude was like literally acting while he was drunk. He had to take some shots of tequila or something. You know, he really was like a stereotype Mexican. I mean, like, so if you're a Mexican, you probably would get offended by his portrayal of Nomar. I don't think it was crazy, son. He was grimy. You know, he was grimy, like Mexican gang style. Like, he was straight out of LA. He was doing up the dubs. You know what I'm saying? He was on his Tupac edge. He was on his West Coast shit. You know, but anyway, number 9 for me is a new movie that came out this December. Now, I had Doctor Strange 2, but I take that off now because I'm replacing it with a movie called Babylon. Now, this movie, Babylon, would be ranked higher for me. And technically, it should be ranked higher, but it has some flaws in it. You know, one of the flaws is it lasts too long a little bit. It's a long movie. But this joint is like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like a Quentin Tarantino movie. It's more extreme, though. It's more gritty. It's more grimy. The characters are more memorable. It's definitely one of the movies of the year for me, man. I had a good time watching this movie. It should have been ranked a little bit higher. I don't know why I just ranked it up at number 9, but it's whatever. You know, it's a good movie, and you get a chance to check that out. You got time to watch it. Go and watch that Babylon movie, man. That joint is tight. You know, has a lot of cursing in it, a lot of extreme Quentin Tarantino-esque type of stuff. Happy New Year, G Money. You know, it has a lot of that going on, but nevertheless, it's still a good movie, man. It's still a good movie. You go and check that joint out. You know what I'm saying? That's an ill movie, you know. So yeah, I'm back. You know, you can tell by the background, it looks different, right? You know. So a lot of people's like, man, you always say you coming back to LA, you never come back. You know. Told you sooner or later I was gonna come back, you know, and that's what I did. You know, I did my top 10 best NBA players. All right. And I could go over the list again because a lot of people probably gonna tell me theirs. 10, I had LeBron James. 9, I had Kawhi Leonard. 8, I had Zion Williamson. 7, I had the Joker. 6, I had Luka Don. 5, I had John Morant. 4, I had Jason Tatum. 3, I had Joel Embiid. 2, I had Kevin Durant. 1, I had Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, that's my top 10 basketball players right now. All right. So yeah, top 10 best basketball players right now. For real, son. Now, since I'm kind of losing count. I'm not going to even rank them yet. I was telling some movies that you could watch this year. I'm just going to tell you ill movies you could watch. Um, The Batman is probably the best movie of the year. For me, you could go and check. Yo, the Batman movie was ill, son. It's long too. It's almost 3 hours. But that joint is a classic. That joint is hood. The Batman movie, the Black Adam movie was tight. I need to go and check that out. Black Adam was tight. That was a good movie, even though a lot of people didn't want to see it. What else? What else was ill? A movie called X was ill. That was like a cult horror style movie that was ill. Oh, then there's another movie called Barbarian. Go and check that joint out. It's like a horror-like movie, but 3 stories in one, and all the stories are connected to each other. That movie was ill, son. That was crazy. That was a good movie. Bullet Train with Brad Pitt. That was Quentin Tarantino-esque. They on the train just wilding out, son, shooting, killing people, and everybody has their own separate story, and it comes together as one. It's all linked together. It's very Quentin Tarantino, Pulp Fiction. I love those style movies, you know what I mean? Because it's cut from my cloth, so movie's ill, son. It's ill. Check that movie out. Bullet Train was dope. What else? Damn, I'm losing count of some other movies. Oh, Avatar movie. The Avatar movie was bomb. That was a long movie too. A lot of these good movies happen to be real long this year. If you have the time to watch it, then go and do it. But you got to make time to watch them. Avatar was dope. The Avatar 2, Way of the Water, that joint was ill, son. And it has some like racism to it though. Because the blue people didn't like these other green people. It was kind of ill. It's kind of ill like that. So that joint was ill. There's a movie called Kim I, an underground movie with the girl that played in the Batman movie. That was pretty ill. You know what I'm saying? She went ratchet at the end. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna ruin the movie if you want to watch it, but there's a lot of ill movies that you could check out this year. A lot of good movies. You know what I'm saying? The movie Smile, that horror movie with the people smiling. You die, but you die while you're smiling, and it's like, yeah, that movie was bad. That movie was bugged out, son. That movie was bugged out. Yeah, Avatar 2 was bomb. That joint was good. Check out Babylon 2. That movie was tight. Bullet Train, Batman. Yo, this mad good movies, man. Black Adam joint was fire. You know what I'm saying? A lot of Marvel movies was weak this year because it was kind of woke. Doctor Strange, the only ill thing about Doctor Strange 2 was the Wanda. She made that whole movie. If she wasn't in that movie would be ass. She was catching bodies, killing superheroes, doing her magic joints. You know what I'm saying? She was all up in there. She was doing her stuff. Yo, I wanna get at some people, man, because people be acting like, yo, why you talking like, why you say this? Why you talking like that? Nigga, I'm from New York. Of course I'm gonna talk a certain way. We growed up talking like that. It's on the block. That don't mean we trying to be like, mafia dons or something like that. We from New York. You don't go to the Mexico and sit there and say why Mexicans got an accent for. So why you gonna go and tell me, well, why I talk a certain way? I'm from New York. This is just how we get down. Spider-Man 2, greatest. I don't know, man. Spider-Man 2 was tight, but you know what's good? The last one, that Spider-Man Home Away from Home or something like that. Damn, what the hell was that movie called? Far From Home. Far From Home was nice. Far From Home was a good movie. You like Spider-Man movies, won't you check that out? Far From Home. That movie was. There's some movies I know I'm missing. What movies am I missing? It's not on the list. I'm missing some movies. Yeah, I don't just can't come to my head right now. I can't. Oh, the Tom Cruise movie. What's that joint? Top Gun. That was alright. I mean, it wouldn't be like my favorite of the year, but it was alright. It had some moments though. It was a good movie. It's worth the criticism of or the praise that it got. It's definitely worth the praise that it got. It was a good watch. You know, Tom Cruise killed that role. He killed that Top Gun Maverick joint. He killed that. Yeah. That movie was ill, son. What else? Damn. I'm trying to see any other movie. Some other movies, man. I really have to like go back and start remembering some of the movies I watched because I watched a lot of movies this year. You know, but if you want to watch a good action movie, Bullet Train is the way to go. Watch Bullet Train. You know, you never seen the Batman movie? Son, watch the Batman. Watch the newest one. That joint is tight. Just watch the Batman. Gotham City. Man, yo, Gotham City is just like New York, man. And it's so gritty and grimy the way Batman movies are portrayed. You know, start off with the Batman, then watch the Christopher Nolan trilogy. He got Batman Begins, the Dark Knight, then the Dark Knight Rises. You can check out all three of those. Those are old. But you want to check out the new one, check out the Batman. You know what I'm saying? Check that joint out. That joint is sick, you know. So yeah. Yeah, yo, you should check that out, man. The movie been out quite some time. You could probably stream it. I'm sure it's already out the theater, so it's already on streaming services. So you could, you know, type in your links, just go and watch that joint. You know what I'm saying? It's an ill movie. Ill movie. You know. So yeah, man. Those are probably the best movies that I saw so far. I'm forgetting some. I don't know why, you know, some is just not coming to the head. Some I'm actually forgetting some, you know. Oh, and if it's like Netflix movies, that movie Prey, like the Predator movie, and The Gray Man. The Gray Man is like a CIA spy action type of movie, but it's ill, son. You know, it got all of that necks cracking and you know all that action good stuff. You know, Absol's album is better than Kendrick Lamar's, yes, but is he a better artist? I don't know if I could go that far. I think the body of work of Kendrick Lamar is a little more deeper than Ab-Soul. Ab-Soul got one classic, and Kendrick Lamar arguably got like two, probably three, depending on how you look at it. Because Good Kid, Mad City is tight. Damn album is tight. You know, his weakest album was this year. You know, but without a doubt, Ab-Soul has a way better album than Kendrick Lamar. You know, for this year. Now, if you also want to listen to some good albums, listen to Black Soprano Family, okay? Black Sopranos, Benny the Butcher, Nee, all of them dudes, yo, they nice. They nice. And did you notice something weird in this generation? What's a mixtape in 2023? Right? You got EPs. People say those are albums now. You could make a song with you could make a project with 9 songs on it. People say it's an album. Back in the day, that was just the EP. That won't even classify as an album. You could make a joint that's not even, you can make an album that's not even for a record label and not even be signed. But if you put together a project, it's supposed to technically be a mixtape, right? But it's not a mixtape no more. It has all original material on it, and it's an album. Like, okay, back in the days, a mixtape had real definition to it. A mixtape was a artist that's not signed to a record label. That's one. Two, a mixtape is controlled by a DJ. It'd be like DJ Cutmaster C, DJ Drama, stuff like that. And they'd be screaming during the whole day. You'd be like, DJ Drama, 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 you know, stuff like that. and the artist would be freestyling over beats from other artists. Okay, he don't have no real legit songs. He's just freestyling a lot, right? And he may have 1 or 2 songs on it. That's his original song, like demo songs. And you put all that together, that's a mixtape. Okay, not an album. That's a mixtape. That's what a mixtape was back in the day. Now you switch over to what an album is. An album is when an artist is signed to a record label and he dropping all original content. Okay, the intro, everything plays out like a movie. Okay, he had 12, 13 tracks, well, probably more, but all the songs are his songs, they're original songs. All right, and it could be sold in retail stores. That's an album. Now everything is an album because you download and stream stuff. So a guy could make artists make now, they make projects with 13 songs on it, right? Not signed to a record label, really. Got their own record label, own little independent record label. They make their own projects. They make their own albums, all right? And you can't call it a mixtape because they're not freestyling. They literally having songs, brand new songs on their project that people are trying to call mixtapes with intros like it's an album. So everything's the album now. Right now in 2023, a rap album is basically, a rap mixtape is basically like Jadakiss versus Fabulous. His best songs versus Fabulous best songs, old songs. That's a mixtape now. That's the new definition of a mixtape in 2023. Okay. Now that's what the definition of a mixtape. When the artist collabs with the DJ, and the DJ got mix of freestyles and probably some old songs that never made albums, stuff like that. Or songs that was from a movie soundtrack, things like that. That's a mixtape. But now there's no such a thing as mixtape because you can't even physically go into stores and buy albums anymore. Nobody buys CDs anymore. Everybody just goes into streaming. Simple as that. But yeah. If you haven't noticed, Isaiah Thomas, every time I pull up or watch something when it comes to the NBA, Isaiah Thomas is talking about Michael Jordan. Why are you so obsessed with Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan don't talk about Isaiah Thomas at all. I know you guys don't hate each other. I know you guys hate each other. And that's between they two because none of us know the real story. We just know off the evidence that's based upon us. And we make a conclusion based off the evidence that's given to us, right? But Jordan has his story. Isaiah Thomas has his story. The only people that really know the truth is Michael Jordan and Isaiah Thomas. Somebody is lying. Somebody's telling the truth. And based off the information that's given to us, we got more receipts on Isaiah Thomas lying than telling the truth. Because Michael Jordan don't talk about Isaiah Thomas too much. So I can't really criticize Michael Jordan because he keeps his mouth shut. He don't even pay attention to the guy that much, but Isaiah Thomas be bugging, man. Be bugging. So, but he called Michael Jordan. He said he's mad at Michael Jordan for saying, you call me an asshole, but you're an asshole to your teammates. So let's just put this fair for both of y'all. Both of y'all are assholes, okay? We all know Jordan wasn't the nicest guy in the world. Isaiah Thomas was a little pit bull. He wasn't the nicest guy in the world, And only difference is Jordan at least was real with his, and he let you know who he was. Isaiah Thomas he had a big Kool-Aid spout, but behind that big Kool-Aid spout was an evil, devious man, you got to watch out for people like that. I'd rather have somebody be real with me and show their true colors than somebody, having hidden agenda behind that spout. And that's what Isaiah Thomas said. Oh, me, I'm innocent in this bad boy Detroit Pistons name. I didn't do nothing. Yeah, Isaiah Thomas is one of the greatest point guards of all time. Fact. But he needs to stop acting like he's Mr. Innocent. Dog, you played on a team that got their rocks off by hitting people, knocking people to the ground, mixing NFL with basketball. And you co-sign that. You said that you adapted the bad boy style to the Oakland Raiders, meaning you wanted to mix football with basketball. That was on you. You was the captain. You co-signed that style of playing basketball until the NBA did something about it and told you, hey, you got to stop doing that. You're making us lose ratings by injuring top players. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, he was the blueprint. He came up with the idea. You just got mad. It's not Michael Jordan's fault that they started the rule of fragrant fouls. You know, they did that because of you, Isaiah Thomas. They didn't do that because of Michael Jordan. They did that because you was taking fouling people to the extreme. It got out of hand. Guys was fighting too much. Guy was getting elbowed, knocked down to the ground, punched in the nuts, spanked in the face, bleeding from the mouth. So everybody was like, hey, what are we doing here? Is this basketball, or are we going to have to, do I have to carry a razor blade between my jersey so I could stab somebody? You know, it became the streets out there. You know, the 80s was full of fights. You know, rough physical basketball. You know, and then that's the type of basketball that was accepted. Until, you know, David Stern said, the hell with all of this. You know, you guys can't be out here being some, you know, rough and tough dogs. This ain't the playground. This is a professional league. We're trying to make some money. You slowing down the money. You know, Isaiah Thomas was hurting the money. That's what you was doing. You was taking the NBA money and flushing it down the toilet. Because the NBA got tired of putting up with you playing physical basketball with everybody. That's all you was doing. You was going at everybody, playing physical basketball. You know? Hold on, let me move this up. Oh man, it's stuck in me. Yeah, I mean, like, dog, at some point, you said you ain't gonna let off Michael Jordan until he gives you an apology. Well, you're gonna be talking about Mike forever because Mike is not gonna apologize to you. Why should he? You guys were competing against each other. You know? Why should he? You did your dirt against him. He did his dirt against you. You guys both was looking to destroy each other. It is what it is. You know? Take it for what it's worth and live with the decisions. You know? You could have played basketball the right way, so to speak, without all the physical NFL stuff. But I wonder if you take that away, elimination match. If you take all that away, would the Detroit Pistons still beat the Chicago Bulls? I don't know. But they never had an answer to Mike until they applied that football tactics. That was a way to beat the Bulls because they had no answer to really stop Michael Jordan. Nobody in the league really had an answer for Michael Jordan. Only they was the only ones because they had 3 All-Stars on one team. Jordan had none. All right. About time Pippen became an All-Star, that's when they finally swept him. You know. So Michael Jordan just needed one more All-Star to go to the top. That was it. Only one. He didn't need multiple All-Stars. You know. But Isaiah Thomas had Dennis Bill Len Bill was dirty as you know what. The guy was just an enforcer. All he did was just start fights with people. Him and Rick Mahorn. All these dudes was just fighters. These guys was just security guards. You know, thugs for hire. You know, that's all they did. You know. Now Detroit Pistons, being physical is one thing, but Detroit Pistons had the talent to beat people with that physicality. They were a stacked team. Okay, Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. Duke averaged 20 coming off the bench. Bill Laimbeer, defense enforcer. Rick Mahorn. They had Adrian Dantley for 1 season or 2. Scorer out the you know what. Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas, backcourt all-star duo with another all-star, Dennis Rodman. Then you have borderline all-stars on that team. They were deep. All right. Michael Jordan was the only guy on the Bulls that was an all-star / superstar. There was nobody else on that team that could have given the Detroit Pistons a challenge. All right. And half of them were scared of the Detroit Pistons because the Pistons were putting fear inside all those players except for Mike. Only one guy wasn't afraid of the Detroit Pistons. That was Michael Jordan. That was it. Now, I can say that because Jordan continued to go at these guys, despite the fact that they did stuff to him that was just flat out dirty. And he came back for more. Jordan came back for more. You know, each time they beat Jordan up, gave him bloody lips, elbows to the body. Every time, the rule was when Jordan tucked off, he was in the air about to do a layup or a dunk, you smack his ass back to the ground. You elbow him, you hit him in the nuts, you do whatever it takes to put that guy on the ground. That type of basketball, one play can end your whole career. One play can end your whole career. Jordan even was like, you know what, that's dangerous basketball. Detroit Pistons themselves was like, what's wrong with this guy? We beat this guy to a pulp. We double team, triple team this guy. And he keep coming back for more. That's how crazy he was. All right? The average guy mentally will probably fold and give up. But I think there's only two guys in the NBA that would love that type of physical action. There's Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant would have said, give me some more. Kobe would have been like, I don't give a fuck about these Detroit Pistons. Give me some more. You know? But that Detroit Pistons team was talented as fuck. They were deep. They were flat out deep. You know, what you think, it was just Isaiah Thomas on that team? Man. Imagine what the Detroit Pistons would have did to LeBron James. They would have swept LeBron James. It'd have been way more worse than what the Boston Celtics did to LeBron. Boston Celtics was a defensive-minded team for the modern NBA. And you see LeBron had problems with them. Just imagine what he would have with a better defensive team like the bad boy Detroit Pistons that was able to get away with physicality. You know, LeBron James won't even be able to flop. Flopping wasn't working in the 80s and 90s. Even if you tried it, it didn't work too much. The referees just to let you, I don't care. Just you got hit, you got hit. I ain't calling that foul. You know, you know, it is what it is. Based off the information that we know, LeBron James would have been crying like a mug. You know, the Bush would have been really weird because physically LeBron James is very opposing, right? You would think that he wouldn't mind physically taking the abuse, but trust me, we've seen how his attitude is, mentally how he is. He would have folded to the Pistons a lot. You know, he would have definitely needed a mentally tough guy like Dwayne Wade, because Dwayne Wade was mentally tough. You know, what is it with these shooting guards being mentally tough? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade. A lot of these guys are like mentally tough. You know, they want that drama. They want that smoke. You know? Oh, salute, Chi-Town. What up? Oh, yeah, I got to speak on it. I know my Eagles lost. Right? I know they lost. They lost to the Cowgirls. You know, I didn't talk about it, but, you know, it is what it is, man. I told you those was rivals, so there was a good chance that we was going to lose to them. You know? Good chance that we was going to lose to them. But I'd rather have us losing in the regular season than lose in the postseason. You know? Yes. Yes. Yes, they did. A lot of people don't know about that, man. Detroit Pistons was stacked. That team was fucking dangerous. If you're looking at a team from top to bottom, they had everything you need in a basketball team. Everything you need. They had rebounding, defense. They had scoring off the bench. You know, so why was everybody shocked that the Detroit Pistons was beating the Bulls when they were supposed to beat the Bulls? Jordan was the only all-star on that team throughout the 80s. Scottie Pippen wasn't an all-star until around the 90s kicked in. It took him a while to develop. He was on the come-up. He was only averaging 13 a game when he got into the league. He even came off the bench for a season, you know? Yeah, Chi-Town. We still beat your we beat your Care Bears. That's a good one. Beat the Care Bears. That's a good one. You know, it's all good. You know. Yo, T, what you think of that Terrence Crawford knockout? I mean, we all know it was coming. You know, a lot of people question his choice of opponents, right? Because when I was doing live stream for that fight, who was saying that? John. John was telling me that he's not impressed with Terrence Crawford's record and opponents that he beat. And if you look at Terrence Crawford's record and some of the guys that he beat, you know, it's not the best resume, but he still got some good recognizable names on there. You know, Gamboa. You know, didn't he face Amir Khan too? He faced Amir Khan. So he faced some known guys, you know? He didn't face like some complete bums, like no guys that never had a name for themselves. He faced some guys that was known. Earl Spence Jr. will bench Terrence Crawford. Best. I don't know. You know, at this point, I don't know who will win. I really don't know because their styles are so different. Terrence Crawford is more of a technician. He's more of like a pure boxer. And Earl Spence Jr. is more like power, athletic ability, like Mike Tyson. You know, I don't know. I really don't know who will win. You know, now I'm not saying Earl Spence don't got no skills. He got skills. He's a very accurate puncher. But what gives him the edge over a lot of people is his reach. He's physically more powering than a lot of guys that he faced. You know, so it's the athletic ability that gives him a lot of edge on stuff. You know, Terrence Crawford is not, you know, he knocks you out differently though, you know? I mean, that'd be a fight. I don't see it happening. I think, I heard they said Terrence Crawford was fighting Josh Taylor. That's what I heard, you know? They got to stop giving him some of these weak fights though. I know that he was going to knock that guy out. The minute that guy got that little cheap shot hit, I said Terrence Crawford going to knock him out because he got pissed off now. He had a little smirk on his face. So, okay, he going to knock this dude out, you know. Tank Davis, yeah, that's right. He fight on July 7th, starting off 2023. Nice, you know. Tank Davis is a guy that needs to take some good fights too, you know. A lot of guys that he could be fighting. I heard he knocked Devin Haley out. Adrian Broner said he knocked Devin Haley out. And Adrian Broner is set to make a comeback. I think Adrian Broner is destined to fail. I'm sorry. I think he's destined to fail. He don't work on his craft too much. He talks way too much itch. And his boxing skill set is very limited. He tried to be the next Floyd Mayweather and just didn't work. You know, he just don't get it like that. You could copy the moves, but that don't mean you Floyd just because you copy the moves. You know, he's like a knockoff version of Floyd Mayweather. You know, he's the bootleg version of Floyd. You know, if you can't get Floyd Mayweather, you get the cheap version, which is Adrian Broner. You know, he's a poor man's Floyd, and even in interviews, he tried to steal Floyd's gift for gab in the interviews. You know, he's just a poor man's Floyd Mayweather. That'd be a good fight too. You right on that, T. You know, but what's up with Shakur Stevenson? He can't get no smoke with Devin Haley. He can't get no smoke with Tank Davis. You know, these dudes should be fighting, man. These dudes should be fighting each other. You know, yeah. Earl Spence Jr. had another car accident, right? Something. I remember he had to because that's why he couldn't do the Pacquiao fight. You know, I think he would have beaten Pacquiao, to be honest. You know, that would have been a good notch on his belt, though. That would have been big on his belt.
What's up? Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year to you, man.
Yeah, I'm actually in Minnesota right now.
You in Minnesota? What you doing over there?
Oh, I got family here, so I'm just celebrating the New Year's.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. Well, you're in Hawaii, right?
No. I was I was a couple days ago prior to coming here. You know, I'm in LA now.
So you're back home. Welcome home.
Yeah, I'm in LA.
Okay.
So, but
How
yeah,
was your New
man.
Year's, man?
You know, it was there. It was okay. You know, but
Yeah.
what's up with Minnesota? I know it's cold over there.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cold. I just went to the mall. They have one of the biggest malls in the country, so I visited the. I think it was U.S. Mall, a huge mall here.
Minnesota got one of the best malls or
Biggest malls. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Trying to fix this. Why is this wrong? I'm trying to. If I could connect, I could hear you a little more better if I could connect to this, but it's not working. You know. Okay. But yeah, man. So, well, what you got on the NFL lately right now? I know you probably was like,
49ers are winning the NFC.
but so who you got winning it all now? We're coming close to the end. So who you got winning now?
I think I'm going to go 49ers and Chiefs. I think 49ers win the Super Bowl.
Okay. All right.
Because right now, about
my Eagles losing to the Cowboys, man?
I mean, you guys are probably going to go one and done.
What? One and done?
If you guys play the Buccaneers, you guys are finished if you're playing Tom Brady.
Nah, man. Look, bro, we only lose like one game like out of 7. You know what I'm saying? So
on top of that too, your QB's not healthy either. That's another factor.
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
So, because they're saying that because he hurt his neck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So normally that's a long-term injury. So I think that's going to have effect on him come playoff time. I don't think he's going to be 100% when he returns. You there? Hello? Hello?
Okay. All right. Look like I had a little difficulty. What just happened? What just happened? Somebody just, oh, there we go.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. So I was saying, I don't think he's going to be 100% when he goes into the playoffs. So I think that's going to have a toll on him. Because when you injure your neck, that affects your throwing too. So it's not like it was an ankle injury. It's his. I think he hurt his neck or collarbone. So that's going to have effect when you're throwing the ball and you're taking sacks as well.
Yeah, that is true.
I think if you guys play the Giants, you probably could win that. But then I don't think right now Tom Brady's playing. He's playing like no tomorrow. He's 45 years old and he's throwing for 400 yards a game. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, he's trying to.
You know what's funny too?
What?
It's funny. People you always use the age excuse for LeBron. I don't hear the age excuse for Brady.
Yeah, I know.
You never hear, he's 4. When they were losing, I didn't hear the 45 years old excuse. They're like, oh, he should have stayed retired.
Oh yeah, but you know the funny part about that is they use that age excuse for LeBron because they have nothing else to go on. So if they start losing, they're just gonna sit there and say, "Oh, it's because of that."
But when Tom Brady was losing, they were saying that, hey, it's time for him to retire.
Yeah, man. So it's people are crazy like that, man. They're just trying to protect.
Well, did you see the game today he played against the Panthers?
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that game.
No, he was throwing these long 60-yard crazy passes that someone who's 45 years old shouldn't be making.
What the hell just happened? I had my comments in the comment section. Now they're all gone. I know this is not restarted. This cannot be restarted. I know it's not. Because if it was restarted, it wouldn't have the hour-long time on here, right?
No. Zach saying the Dolphins are screwed. Yeah, I don't think the Tua's even coming.
Wait, can you see comments?
They lost their QB for the season. I can see Zach. I saw what Zach said. Yeah.
What? I can't.
Zach just said.
I can't see no comments.
Zach just said Dolphins are screwed, bro. Tua can't stay healthy.
Well, hold on,
Can
let
you
me
see that?
refresh this page. I'm gonna refresh this. Okay, yeah, I see them now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, right now my pick is probably I'm gonna go 49ers. I think the AFC comes down to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills.
Man, hey, don't be
Oh, yeah, and
surprised if
another
that,
team too.
what?
Go ahead. No, another
Yeah,
team
don't.
that might have a chance too is the Cincinnati Bengals.
Don't be surprised if the Eagles make it, man.
Well,
Tell me.
the issue with the Eagles is I don't know if they could beat the. I think the 49ers are too good right now.
Mm,
And if the Eagles lose next week and the 49ers win, the 49ers have home field, and I don't think the Eagles could win it in San Francisco.
mm. Wait,
I
so
think my honest
who we
take,
face the first week again? Or most likely go face the first week?
probably no. Well, it depends on how next week goes. So right now, you guys are the first seed, but you guys could possibly fall as low as the fourth or fifth,
Mm.
depending on if you lose next. If you lose, it all depends on how these games go. Because the best you could go is first seed. The
Yeah.
worst you could go, if you could possibly go down to fifth seed, if you guys lose and the Cowboys win next week.
Oh yeah. Oh yo, T made a good point. He said that the reason why people don't make excuses for Brady as much as LeBron is because the NBA markets LeBron a little more. He's part of their revenue and they screen
Well, so
they scheme.
is
I don't
Brady
think.
too. Brady's
Yeah,
the
but
face of the league.
no, I actually agree with T on this a little bit because I never see the NFL really go crazy over one superstar. They promote really just the whole team. You know, the sport isn't one guy isn't bigger than the whole sport. But basketball, they promote these individual players so much
No,
that
NFL. There's
you
some
forget
guys
about
they
the team.
promote. NFL. There's some guys promote too. I see a lot of people going for Mahomes and Justin Herbert.
Yeah, but do you really think the NFL promotes their stars like the NBA?
I mean, it depends on who you're talking about. I feel like for Rodgers, they promote him hard too.
I figured you was going to say Aaron Rodgers.
I feel like for some guys too, and they don't even just like the NBA. There's some guys that get like Lamar Jackson gets like this unfair treatment for some reason because I think it has to do with his race. While they give guys like Justin Herbert a pass when he's not winning.
Mm.
I feel like when NFL is a race
NFL.
car, I feel like the black QBs are for some reason are discriminated because they don't like a black guy playing QB. They don't like that at all.
Yeah, that's always been in the NFL. You notice that they're like restricted. They don't mind a black guy playing running back. They don't mind him being a defensive end. But the minute he's a quarterback is a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. This is kind of weird, man. You know.
Like I know it's Lamar Jackson. First of all, his wide receivers are terrible. You can't even name who their wide receivers are. And for some reason,
and that's another one. That's another position, the wide receivers. You know, they market those guys a lot that happen to be black, but a lot of them are always viewed as being crazy or Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, no, like I said, they what's called he gets criticized so much while when Justin Herbert's losing games, the media doesn't go after him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think T has a good point though. I still see the NBA is more superstar driven than the NFL because
I feel like it's starting to happen though. Right now, the way it's shifting, they're focusing on star players right now because
you really
there's
think so?
Because there are a lot of stars in the NFL on the wide receivers and QB too, like Mahomes. Like now, I think the league's behind Mahomes right now.
I don't know, man. That's debatable because as long as I can remember, the NFL was always about the team.
Well, no, I'm talking about like back then. Yeah, I'm saying the way it's going now, they're going like Mahomes is on primetime TV every single week. He's not playing those 12 o'clock games.
That is true.
So right now, I feel like the NFL is just marketing around Patrick Mahomes and some of these other guys too. I think it's being more star driven because I feel like you have more superstars than you did back then.
T said it's a wave. Black mobile QBs. The floodgates are open. Yeah, man. But they still get treated differently, man. I don't even think they get promoted as much. If they do, it's always something negative, you know. But
Yeah.
you
Well,
may
you
be
heard
right. You
like
may be
'cause-
right on you may
like
be
I
right on
heard
promoting stars.
like
Go
I
ahead.
heard some of the media guys were attacking Hurts. They're saying that if you put any QB on the team, they're gonna
Right.
win. And then you saw Hurts is gone. Now the Eagles are losing games.
Right.
And I feel like with NFL, it's a rate for some reason they don't like they don't like black guys like QBs.
Yeah, I know that's kind of weird. But hey, this proves that Jalen Hurts was not only MVP to the Eagles, that he's also a valid contender to be an MVP throughout the whole league. I know he's not going to get it though.
No, he's not gonna get it because he missed too many. If you miss like 2 games in a row like that, they're not gonna. And on top of that, I think Mahomes broke the record. Or no, he didn't break it yet, but I think he threw 5,000 yards. The only other player who did that was Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. That's it.
Mm. Yo, what do you think of Luka's 60-point triple-double that he dropped on my neck? No, just his level of play that he's been doing the last few games.
I think he's going towards the whole. I think he's a guy who's just putting up great stats. I have to see some winning from him.
Mm. But I mean, he is putting them on the back. If the playoffs was a start, they'd be competing for it.
Yeah, but to me, I feel like he's another stat guy. Like he just puts up great stats, but I don't know if you could win with him.
Mm. That's a good point. You mean in the postseason? Because he is carrying his team right now as we speak, though.
Hold on, give me a sec.
Yeah, those Mahomes State Farm coming. That's a good look. That is a good look. But the NFL is starting to promote its stars a little bit. You know, definitely a little more than it did back in the day. But it's still a team-driven sport because the first thing people talk about is the actual team before they talk about players. You know, oh, you an Eagles fan? You a Cowboys fan? Cowboy Nation. That's bigger than any one player. Eagles Nation, bigger than one player. You know, San Francisco 49ers. They got like a lot of what's to say? Legendary franchises. You know, NFL has a lot of legendary franchises. It's the 49ers. They don't talk about the individual players much. They say, I'm a 49ers fan. Eagles. I'm an Eagles fan.
Oh, yeah, that's
Cowboy
true.
Nation. I'm a Cowboys fan. You know, they don't do that in the NBA. The NBA is just really one player. You just sit there and be like, oh.
There's no
you're a LeBron
bandwagons
fan,
in NFL.
Huh?
I think what you're trying to say, there's no bandwagons in NFL.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Because the NBA is just, oh, you a LeBron fan? You know, that's it. You ain't even talking about the Lakers. You're just talking about LeBron. You know what I mean? You not, oh, you Kevin Durant? You know, that's it.
Yep.
People get to a point, they're not even talking about the team no more. It's just the one individual player. You know?
Yep.
You know, how many times have you heard people say, yo, Kevin Durant lost? When in actual reality, who lost? The Nets lost. You know. So.
Well, no, I've seen it for Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's the only guy I see it for where you got certain Brady fans who just support whatever team Brady's on. I think Brady's the only player, but I think it's going to happen with Mahomes too, where you're going to get a bunch of Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Yep. Yeah, T, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I was trying to tell Shy. He's getting them wins. He's leading a team full of role players to the postseason. Let Luka make it to the postseason, and LeBron don't. You know, so his numbers is actually having an effect on the team winning games. So that's why I'm like, he's actually going out there winning. And that'd be a different story if he was losing. Because every time a player puts up big numbers on a losing team, back in the day, we used to overlook that. We used to be like, oh, that's nothing. They ain't winning no games. We ain't paying no attention to them. You know, now it's just like, oh, look how many points he got. You know, you ain't caring about who wins no more. The game, the rules, we just throwing the rules out the window now. You know, hold on, let me get this charger. Which one? I get this charger for this. But yeah, man, I went back to the block today. A lot of people was like, yo, where you been, man? You know, played some basketball, won 3 games in a row. Yo, play again. No, I wasn't ready. You was ready. You just got your ass kicked. You know, I'm not going to be here all day beating you in games. I beat you 3 games in a row. That's enough. You know, 3 games in a row is enough. I ain't gonna be sitting here sweating all day long, kicking your ass in basketball. And I gotta, that's the one thing about some cats here, man. They can't take losing. They want to play basketball all day long until they try to get a win over. You had 3 opportunities. Yeah, they are. They're both balling. They're both balling out. They are both definitely balling out. They're putting up historic numbers and leading their teams to win, T. You can't take nothing away from them. That'd be hypocritical because you can't sit there and be like, oh, they putting up big numbers, but, they're not doing that for their team. That's a lie. They are doing stuff for their team. They're putting up big numbers and winning games. The Joker led his team to the #1 seed in the West. If LeBron did that, you guys would be not you, T, but a lot of these LeBron lovers would be jumping up and down, calling him the GOAT, calling him the best player in basketball. So you mean to tell me other guys could put up historic numbers and nobody paid no attention? But if LeBron do it, rather he win or lose, you guys all over him. Something got to give, man. We got to reward winning. Yo, T, we don't reward winning no more. People don't care about winning. It's always just hitting agenda, Minus the gunplay, you're right. Brothers be there all day long. No, give me that. Run that back. You be there for hours, man. You be there for hours. If you don't run it back, it may turn physical. You can't just take the money and go. You got to run it back multiple times until everybody get their little share of money, so nobody don't lose too much. This is why I don't play dice. There's certain things in the street I don't do because it's a waste of time for me. I don't play dice with them like that, Yep, that's right. Even if they lose a little bit, but they go away with something, they good, but you can't take everything from them. That's just how it is. They got to get some profit. They got to get some money. Same way with playing basketball. You play games, you put money down. It can't just be one game. The minute the person lose, double. Then you next thing you know, you're playing like 5-6 games until that person, makes their money back. But here's the problem. If they keep losing, they don't have the money to pay you. Then what you got on your hands is just a fight, because they're going to start a fight with you because they ain't paying you that money anyway. So what it's going to lead to is just a bunch of bullshit and guys talking shit leads to a fight. And this way, nobody gets the money because everybody's just wasting an hour or 2 hours talking shit. Do you know on the block how many times I seen guys talk shit in basketball games for over an hour without even playing basketball? They spent their whole time on a basketball court arguing and talking shit. Nobody played a single game yet. Okay. The score is 0-0. Crazy. Yeah, RIP to Takeoff, RIP to Gangsta Boo, passed away too. I don't know what she passed away from, but she was down with the 3 6 Mafia. I'm not too 100% familiar with 3 6 Mafia like that. I'm not from Memphis, but I do know they made that song. What's that song? Stay Fly. That was bomb. You had Young Buck on there. Them brothers down south, they was kicking that good shit with that song. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. RIP, man. We just came into 2023 and we're losing more bodies in hip hop. There's more rappers die for any profession in the world now. Rappers are taking losses. Rappers are dropping like flies, man. Back in the day, it was like you had 1 or 2 major deaths and that was it. You had Big, you had Pop. You didn't have people dying every month. Now in hip hop, everybody's dying like in 1 month. But problem with that is because everybody's an artist now. It's easy to be an artist now, to a point. There's no mixtapes no more. That's all I was telling Zach. Mixtapes are albums now because you have your own independent label. Everything is streamed and downloaded. You put your original songs, intros and everything. That's an album. That's no mixtape. You ain't rhyming over nobody else's beats. You ain't kicking no freestyles. You're literally making songs from top to bottom that have concept, that have choruses. That is an album. That is not no damn mixtape. You know? But people are sitting there calling stuff mixtapes that has original content on it. Since when was a mixtape original content? It usually have a DJ over it and he telling you, DJ cut slate, drama, DJ drama, you know, just stuff like that. And he's screaming all over the track and the artist is freestyling over a beat that lasts for 1 minute. And it's just a collection of that, you know, maybe 1 or 2 songs that's actual from beginning to end. That was a mixtape. That was the construction of a mixtape. In 2023, there ain't no mixtapes. There ain't no even EPs. 9 songs could be an album now. Artists make 9 songs and call that an album. You know, so it's so different now, man. It's just so different. You know. Riding Spinners. I gotta check that song out. But yeah, man. So I'm not too familiar with them too much, you know, but I check them out, man. You know. I don't know what she paid. She was only 43 years old, man. You know, in the grand scheme of things, that's still a very young age. You know, you didn't even get to live your second half of your life. That's sad, man. Dropping like flies, man. That's still young. You know, yeah, man. R.I.P. You know, but it's 2023. Salute to all of y'all. T, I hope you have a good 2023, man. Get yours, man. Hope your goals get accomplished. If your goals are already accomplished, I hope they get elevated. You know? Some people are living the life that they always wanted to live. So have success in whatever you're already doing. You know, just take it to the next level. You know, you own the business, make your business go to the next level. You know, every year is a chance to do that. You know, but it is what it is, man. You know. Wow. So I gotta finish watching that Babylon movie. I like Quentin Tarantino style movies, man. So, you know, there was a lot of good movies out this year, man. Bullet Train was ill, you know. And that girl from the Batman movie, forget her name. I think she's Lenny Travis. She's Lenny Travis's daughter, I think. But she made like 2 good movies this year. She made the Batman and she made some movie called Kimmy, something like that. That was tight, you know. She can act, you know, she pretty good, you know. Very, very she's not one of those cheesy actors that, you know, that's looking at the camera and it just looks fake, you know, it's not believable. You know, some people just got very corny, very cheesy style of acting. She ain't that. She can act. You know, she got some skills. You know, so what else, man? What else movies that was hot this year, man? Can't remember what else was hot. Damn. You know, I sell a lot of movies and you just forget like the ones that you and now you have to think of it when it comes back to you, you know, but saw a lot of movies, man. So I forgot some of those joints, you know. What else? Now I said Bullet Train already. The Avatar movie was pretty good. You know, it's a lot of long movies. Some people don't want to watch movies that's like 3 hours long. Man, imagine sitting in the theaters watching a 3-hour movie. I have never did that before. I have never sat in the theaters to watch a 3-hour movie before. Every movie that I watch, even if it was 3 hours, I watched it when it was on Screaming Network or something like that. But I have never physically sit in a movie theater to watch a movie for 3 hours. You know, there's a first time for everything, so I guess I probably would do that, you know. So one day, you know, but that takes a lot of time, man. Some movies be like close to 4 hours. I mean, who's going to be sitting there for 4 hours? I think the Avatar movie is like close to 4 hours. Imagine sitting in the theaters for 4 hours, man. That shit is long, man. I like movies, but I don't know if I want to waste that much time watching a movie. At least you can say you got your money's worth. You can at least say you got that. That's 4 hours. It's a long ass movie. You know what I'm saying? But what else? What else was ill? Yo, T, did you watch any good movies this year? I can't even think. Oh, that Black Adam movie with The Rock. That was tight. That was ill. You know? So that was a good movie. Can't think of much. Black Panther movie, like I was saying, I wasn't too into it too much. No. It was missing a hero for half the whole movie. You know. The only thing that saved it was the villain. That was it. That's what's up, man. Yeah, you know I be going there every single year, man. You know, Zimbalist and Manila, I'm all over that place, man. You know, but yeah, I stayed there the longest. I never been there this long. Usually for a couple of months. I did a whole year over there, man. You know, I came back and, you know, I'm in LA. People are asking me, man, where were you? You did jail time? Why is it when a brother disappears, y'all always assume that he went to jail? You know, we got to stop thinking out of that same that state of mind, man. Just because a brother disappeared don't mean he went to jail. All right? Didn't mean he got locked up. You know. Okay, you watched some TV series. Did you watch The Power or Raising Canaan? What's it, Raising Canaan? Something like that. I liked it, that one. Raising Canaan. I liked it, that one. The 50 Cent joint. I could relate to that because that was in Queens. I'm from Queens. So, you know, yeah. Oh, it's all good, Chi-Town. It's all good. You know. Yeah, I'm back in LA right now, T. You can tell by the background. You know, I'm back home. You can tell when I'm back in LA where the environment is a little bit different. And in this case, you don't see a lot of distractions. You know, I could go on whatever I want, you know, so it's a little bit different. You know, I've seen The Wire a couple times, but I like The Power. I like the Power shows. I don't like the other one with the ghost, the young boy. I don't like that one, but I like the one with 50 Cent as like a teenager and he's coming up in Queens. I like that one. That joint is ill. I like that. You know. There's a TV show called From. That joint is ill. I liked it. That, man, there's a lot of TV shows that was ill that came out. That was good. Some people liked it, the Magic Johnson TV show. Magic Johnson had 2 TV shows out in 1 year. 2 TV shows displaying the Laker dynasty. Oh, Breaking Bad is your favorite show of all time? That's a hard claim for me, but I could tell you some of my favorite TV shows. I like The Sopranos, you know, even though Sopranos was really racist, so I can't really ever say that's my favorite show because it was just too racist. You know, let's see. Damn, favorite show. I got a lot of shows that I like. I can't say one was like my favorite of all time. You know, it's kind of hard for me to say that. It's just too many shows. Reparation Sweepstakes. Sopranos was great. Yeah, it was a good show. It's just that, you know, it had its moments. You'd be like, I don't know if I should be watching this sometimes, you know, especially when you go. I remember when I went to work, they had these group of Italians in New York. They would always talk about the latest episode of The Sopranos. And, you know, I watched The Sopranos and it felt weird to even have a conversation with them to talk about The Sopranos, you know, because you watch some of the episodes and you see the racist behavior inside those episodes and you're like, I don't know if I should be talking about this. You know what I'm saying? It's just like one of those shows that if you like it and you're not, I mean, a lot of Black people like The Sopranos, but if you like it, don't talk about it as much because, you know, it's like Italian people didn't even, during that time frame, they didn't like people watching that show that was another race. They only liked the Italian people that was watching that show. I grew up in New York. I grew up around a lot of Italian people. I know a lot about Italian culture. most of New York is Italian culture. Okay, it's heavy over there, like Mexicans is heavy in LA. So I could tell you that you deal with a lot of racism from Italians. They'll call you a mullion, a dipsoon. I know all the words because I hear them say that to black people. You know, so being the guy that I am, that I come from the East Coast, and I have that experience. It's a hard pill to swallow watching The Sopranos all the time. I mean, a lot of people of color like mafioso type of entertainment, The Godfather, you know, Sopranos, stuff like that. But a lot of them had a lot of racist things to them, you know. The ending, yeah. I mean, Italians are the stingiest people. Yeah, man, yo, they could get grimy. They could get grimy. But on the flip side of that, here's the funny part of it. One of my best friends in New York was an Italian person. All right. This guy was so cool with me that whenever he got put on, he'll come and put me on, be like, yo, I got this connect, I got this, come through. Real talk. You know, so it's a mixed bag for me. It's a mixed bag for me, you know? Yeah, yeah, you know too. You know. Bronx Tale, yeah. Yeah. Well, Robert De Niro, not Robert De Niro, Al Pacino was in that, right? Al Pacino or Robert De Niro, I can't remember now. I just always get those two guys mistaken for each other. You know, Goodfellas was a classic. Goodfellas was a classic. That was ill. Goodfellas was a classic. You know, that was ill. So yeah, man. That was ill, son. De Niro was in it, right? De Niro was in the Bronx Tale. Okay, right? That's true. You know, that was just a good cast. You know, R.I.P. to Tony Soprano, man. You know, he played that role to perfection, though. You know, he's just an actor, so you can't get mad at him. Sometimes they're just providing entertainment for the people. You know, that's the one thing you can't take serious. An actor he's doing his job. He's pretending to be something that he's not. He's an actor. He's an entertainer. So you can't look at him and say, oh, you know, this is how he is in real life. You know, because you meet some of these actors, they don't even have that energy that from the character that they play in the movie. You know, Paulie was crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, T know about it. T know about this mafioso entertainment we talking about. You know, that type of Italian culture was so big that it affected most New Yorkers, whether you was black, white. A lot of these rappers, they got their style from Italian culture. Raekwon and Ghostface from Wu-Tang, their whole album only built for Cuban links is a soundtrack to the mob, you know? You know, and we throughout history, if you look at your history, Bumpy Johnson, The Godfather, Godfather of Harlem. That's a good show. You should check that out. Godfather of Harlem. He's them. Bumpy Johnson was a real dude from Harlem that dealt with Italians. He was working with them. He could never be part of the Italian mafia because he's black. But him and the mafia were, you know, hand to hand, best buds. They were business partners, you know? Oh yeah, that joint was funny. You know, that joint was funny, man. That last season was crazy though. They was killing off a lot of the characters, man. You know, Tony Soprano killing his own cousin. He killed his own cousin while he was making eggs and stuff in the kitchen. Just whack that dude with a frying pan. You know, that joint was crazy. Yeah, you know, so Godfather of Harlem, you need to check that out. You know, that's an ill one. You know, but yeah, man, a lot of rappers got their style from that Italiano stuff. You know, remember when Tupac was dissing a lot of East Coast rappers? He was like, they in the mafia now. The Italiano, Capone. You know, they taking the names of, you know, they're taking the names of Italian mobsters because that's the culture that we was impacted by so much. You know, A lot of these mobsters used to come through our neighborhood. John Gotti used to come through my projects, you know? John Gotti from Queens, Howard Beach, Queens. He used to come through the hoods all the time, and they used to do business in the projects. You know, some of these constructors, some of these dudes, they do their business in the projects. You know, they do some of their illegal business, run some of their scams and racketeering throughout projects. You know, the mob had their hands in a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of things politics was, you know, the mob had their hands in. You know, construction, the mob had their hands in a lot of that type of stuff. Gambling, mob had their hands in the boxing for a long time. You know, it's not like that no more. But back in the day, boxing was one of the biggest names that mobsters would get into. You know, they would even tell some of the boxers to take a fall. Now, if you don't take a fall, you're going to be sleeping with the fishes. You know, you see your body in the Hudson River. You know, boxing's always been corrupted, by the way. If it wasn't a mob corrupting it, it was just the regular people that deal with boxing, the boxing committee, so to speak. You know, so boxing's always been corrupted. You know, that's why some people don't like boxing, because they think everything is set up in boxing. You know, you look at some fights in boxing, you can say, there's no way this guy won. That was rigged. That was set up. You know, it's like that for a lot of fights. Throughout the history of boxing, there have been fights that you'd be like, what the hell is going on? What the hell am I watching? Capone, Chi-Town's own, yeah. Yeah, he ran Chicago. You know. Now Chicago is just a flat-out war zone. You know. You know, people in Chicago get shot like me and you drank water. That's the difference, you know. Even my hood cooled down a little bit. We ain't out there robbing and shooting you for no damn reason. You good. You got guys in Chicago, innocent bystanders getting shot. They got nothing to do with none of that nonsense gang-related stuff that's going on in Chicago, but they're getting shot. You know? So hold your head if you're in Chicago, man. Chicago ain't no joke. It's serious business. It's serious business in Chicago, man. That's Chirac. Them boys over there, they putting that work in. You know? So yeah, man. But that's as far as my TV shows go, man. Sopranos made a movie too, but that movie was weak. Oh my God, that movie was garbage. I think the movie was circled around a young Tony Soprano. Yeah, a young Tony Soprano. His son played his father. That was kind of ill. His son played Tony Soprano. You know. But the movie was really bad. It was really weak. It was supposed to be like the next Mafia classic movie. It failed on so many levels. Failed on so many levels. That shows you Sopranos were never made to be in a movie setting. It's always good just to be on a TV show. You know, they need to remake. They're going to do the Sopranos, just remake it and do it in a different way. You know. So, yeah. Brooklyn Nets killing it. You know, 11 in a row, man. No, Kareem already got a higher record of scoring points than Michael Jordan. We ain't saying he's better than Michael Jordan. A scoring title don't mean nothing. It don't mean you're the best. It just means you've been playing for a real long time. You know? A lot of guys don't get the chance to even break scoring records. That's what Carmelo Anthony's in the top 10 for scoring. But if the league don't give him a chance to play basketball, he can't move up. You know, you got to have somebody willing to accept you so you could keep playing basketball, you know? But yeah, still a record don't mean nothing. The records are broken every single day. Or new ones are made every single day, you know? Russell Westbrook broke Oscar Robertson's triple-double record. Does that mean he's going to get ranked above Oscar Robertson? Nah. Russell Westbrook ain't better than Oscar Robertson. No, at least Oscar Robertson got real triple doubles that weren't stat padded. You know. Yes, I know that. I'm very familiar with Philadelphia because I used to go to Philly in the summertime. That's how I became an Eagles fan. I'm very familiar with Philadelphia. North Philly, North to death. That's what they call it. North Philly is a very rough section in Philadelphia. They don't play around there, man. That's where the state property and Beanie Single and all them boys be, you know? But I didn't know they had this zombie drug, man. This world coming to something crazy, man. Every year, every generation, there's a new drug coming out. People are going crazy over it, you know? But I know what block you're talking about. That block is very notorious for homeless people. That's like the Skid Road, you know? That's like the Skid Road of, what the hell is it? Just like the Skid Road of Philly. No, I know who A.R. Ab is. That's the greatest Stitch in the hip hop history. Talk about being an idiot. That guy's a flat out idiot. He incriminated himself. He literally he went to jail for social media because he told all his business on social media. Won't you look at his interviews, bro? This guy, my man over here, he shot this guy, you know, and then he came back on the song and talk about how he shot the guy. Ain't that right, man? You know, the other guy is in the background like, yeah. Should you be telling this? It's the funniest shit because his boys are acting all scared, like, you know, why is this guy telling my business? You know, A.R. Ab said the guys in his studio would go shoot people, and then come in the studio and rap about them shooting people. You know, he just shot a guy like an hour ago, right? Didn't you just shot that guy an hour ago on such and such block? He was saying in the interview, biggest Stitch. He dried Stitch on his own self. That's how he got so many times. You know, what an idiot. There's like one of the biggest things from the streets is you don't dry Stitch. You never tell on yourself. Rappers tell on themselves all the time, you know, which is just the most stupidest thing. Some of these guys just do it out blatantly. And that's what he did. He did it out blatantly. He didn't drop no clues. He didn't drop no hint. He didn't drop no subliminal lines. He just flat out tell you, man, I ran blocks. I shot people on this block. You know, we're about to take over this new block right here. You telling the feds and law enforcement what you're doing. You're literally naming blocks that you're about to take over from the drug game. And you're telling the cops that in order for you to take over these blocks, that you're going to have to shoot people. You're literally telling people you have shot people. He would tell you how much guns he got, you know? DJ Vlad was the feds. He didn't have to be assistant for A.R. Ab. A.R. Ab will tell you everything. It was real. He'll tell you everything. You don't need to get A.R. Ab to Stitch at all. He would tell everything. He's his own informant. He's his own worst nightmare. And I think he did that because he wasn't really a rapper. He was more of a street dude. And he was just popping fear into neighborhoods because he was taking over drug blocks. He was making thousands of dollars, you know, from just drugs. And it had nothing to do. He was making money off the street. He wasn't making money off no rap songs. No, he was an underground rapper. Nobody didn't really know who he was. Only reason why people even caught a brief of who he was mainly was because of Cassidy and mainly Drake. Drake shouted him out on a song and that all blew up. The minute Drake said his name on the song, people went to check who he was. And then when you got to know who he was, you realize he was less of a rapper and more of a street cat. You know, he had no business rapping if he was going to do what he did. You know, he basically indicted his whole crew. You know, world's dumbest criminals. You know, I kid you not. Watch his interviews. You shot a guy. You shot a guy just now, right? Hour ago. We're on Fulton Ave. Okay, you know that's how we do it here. We gonna rap about it in a song. Yo, tell the whole details of how you shot the guy in the whole song, man. We rapping So we gonna break the whole thing down. Crazy, man. It's literally crazy stuff. Pillow talk at its finest. You seen what Keith Murray? Yeah, I've been to Melrose. You seen what Keith Murray said about Foxy Brown? You know, said he was getting down with Foxy Brown while she was with Corrupt. Foxy Brown was the biggest pass along dang in hip hop. You know, she got turned out by Jay-Z. She was only 15 years old. And I made a video on that. A lot of people sitting there saying, you don't know. How you know what I don't know? You do realize I come from a neighborhood that's very hip hop inspired. Okay? Some of your favorite rappers I already met, especially if they're from New York. Nas lived in the next complex away from me. Mobb Deep lived on the other side, the north side of Queensbridge. North side and south side of Queensbridge is right connected. You got the 40th side, you got the 41st side. They're connected by 3 different blocks, connection of 6 blocks, 96 buildings. Easy to understand. And the park is in the background. You know how many rappers came to my neighborhood and got robbed? Eve came to my neighborhood and got robbed. She got robbed in the next projects over in Ravenswood, but she had to go to Queensbridge to get in contact with them boys in the block to get her jewelry back. You know? Tragedy Gaddafi, Nature, Cormega. I met all of them. Some of them were friends with my uncles, man. Some of them will come to our high school to take pictures if you go to the prom and stuff like that. And my cousin got pictures with Cormega, Nature, and all these dudes in their prom, you know, at her prom. Prodigy, all these dudes, man. Prodigy not really from QB, but he from QB. He on the block, he from QB. He's accepted in our neighborhood. I don't care if he was originally from this neighborhood or was born in that neighborhood. It's not where you're from, it's where you're at. He spent all his time in Queensbridge. He know everybody. He on the block. Prodigy is from Queensbridge. I don't give a crap all that other. He from Long Island. No. He's from Queensbridge. Simple as that. You want to go by that logic, nobody's from Queensbridge then, because Nas was born in Brooklyn. But what do Nas claim? Havoc was born in Brownsville, Brooklyn. Cormega was born in Far Rockaway. A lot of you people don't know that. I know stuff about rappers that you guys don't even know about. Cormega is from Edgemere Projects in Far Rockaway, Queens. Same block as Stack Bundles or Edgemere Projects or Red Fern, that area, those areas right there. Excuse me, Stack Bundles is from Redfern. He's from the next project's over. You know, Nas claims Queensbridge, but he was born in Brooklyn. He moved to Queensbridge when he was like 3. That's the common thing for all of us. I was born in Corona, Queens. My mom got an apartment in Queensbridge when I was like 2 or 3. And then you move there, you get raised there. It's your home. Simple. You know? Nobody could be born in a housing project, though. You know what I'm saying? You can't be born in a housing project. It's a waiting list and you get put on it. You know, when your time has come, the New York City Housing Authority would tell you, hey, we got an apartment for you. And it's up to you to pick it. You know, my mom had a choice to pick from Queensbridge, South Jamaica, and Ravenswood. She took Queensbridge. And she would tell you the very first day she moved to Queensbridge, our family moved to Queensbridge, on the very first day, there was a shootout. And she realized that moment that she made a mistake by picking that housing project, where she could have picked a more safer housing project. But Queensbridge had more space. It was bigger. So she went to Queensbridge. Simple. You don't know what place is going to become what until you actually go there. You know, Queensbridge was once a nice neighborhood until the drug pandemic kicked in, until white people started to move out and it got flooded with blacks and Puerto Ricans. Slowly after, drugs started to get pushed into the community, alcohol, guns, and before you know it, the neighborhood has went down the crack. because little assistance from the government. Nobody care about the neighborhood that much no more. Now you got a bunch of Latinos, black and brown people in the projects, and the government don't give a fuck about it. That's how shit gets done. Queensbridge was once a nice neighborhood. Compton was once a nice neighborhood. Compton used to be all white people until somebody start moving in. Once people of color move into a neighborhood, a white neighborhood, the white people start to move out. You know, and the colored people aren't bad. It's not like they bring drugs and guns into the neighborhood. That stuff gets brought into the neighborhood from somebody else. Those guns ain't coming. Would you think those guns coming from Africa or something? Who's putting the guns in the hands of young black males in these communities? Where are the guns coming from anyway? They get shipped from somewhere, right? Think about it. What about the drugs? Black people didn't invent drugs. Some drugs came from actually South America, you know? The biggest drug dealers in history are basically people from South America. Rather it's a Noriega or it's a Pablo Escobar. It's all these dudes, you know, they come from South America. They stiffen that coke and they bring it to the States. You know, and somehow it gets into the hands of other communities. You know, how come guns and drugs didn't get into white neighborhoods? Why? Technically they did, but it got kept under the rug. You know, because a lot of these white people would go from the suburbs, would go to the inner city, buy drugs, and come back to their suburb house, picket fence, use drugs, and you know the rest. You know, but there's some politics around. This is why we say, you know, there's corruption in the government. This is stuff like that. You know, I don't want to turn this into a whole, you know, debate, but it kind of makes you wonder, kind of makes you think. How come all this negative stuff gets pushed into minority communities, but white communities, they take that out. They don't even let it even get to a point where it's there, right? Why? Why is that? Why is there stricter rules in places like Beverly Hills, but places like Compton? Oh, go ahead, you could do that in Compton, but you can't do that in Beverly Hills. Makes you think. The powers that be, there's something going on with this world, you know? Even other countries. Why in non-white countries, there's a lot of third world countries. In Asia, you got countries like the Philippines, not the richest country, right? Matter of fact, you got white guys that go to the Philippines just to manipulate and use the woman, you know? Literally take advantage of a lot of these women. Some of these women are, I kid you not, they're 13, 15, and they're becoming maids to a rich foreigner white guy. And how, out of the blue, that 13, 14-year-old girl gets knocked up. She gets knocked up by the guy that hired her to clean the house. And they let that slide. Because it's a poor country, they don't report it, and they let it slide. Who's my real pick? I'm going with the Eagles. That's my real pick. It's always going to be the real pick, you know? We're a legit team. I honestly believe we're a legit team. You know, I'm not going to take my foot off that. We're going to win. You got to believe, man. In order to achieve, you got to believe. Now, if you go to other countries, you get to see what I see, man. I see a lot of difference, man. It opens up your eyes, you know? Poverty is different there than it is here. You know, you got people that live in the projects. Oh, my life sucks. I'm poor. You haven't been overseas. You haven't been overseas. Because if you've been overseas, you will know it's completely different. Poor means something completely different overseas. It means something completely different. And I don't know why it's all these creepy white guys that go to these goes to these foreign countries to take advantage of the people there. You know, you think because you got money that you have some fist over power over these people. You know, then you wonder why these girls come to the U.S., get a green card, and dip on your ass. That happens to a lot of white guys because they go to these places looking to take advantage of these women themselves. Then when they get to a point where she starts to have power when she comes to the U.S. Because remember, this is the land of opportunity. So once she starts working, she gets her own money. You the one stuck. You the one about to lose your stuff. That's all it takes. Then you stuck with nothing. You know, because she could. I know so many guys in New York that married women from other countries. The lady stayed with them for a while, only to leave that guy for some other American guy that's of her nationality. But he's just like, you know, let's just say Chinese American or whatever, you know. Just got played, you know. Basically, you got played. But you was trying to play her, so you just got it returned back to you. Hey, man, if it's not the Eagles to win, I don't know about the 49ers, man. 49ers got a lot of hype behind them. I could go, man, I'm about to say this team, but I could go with the Bills. You know, Bills is a good pick. They got to make it sooner or later because every year they're a top contender. You know, every year they're a top contender. At some point, you're going to have to give them the benefit of the doubt and say they're going to win. You know? Bro, I was gone for a whole year. A whole year. Time just went by so fast. That's, for some people, that's jail time. They go away for a whole year. That's jail time, man. You know. That is right. That's right, T. That's right. But people got to realize this stuff. When you badmouth black people, brown people, Latinos, you know, and you said we're nothing but thugs and this and that, you know, we kill each other. But guess what? If white people had those same elements in their community, they'd be doing the same thing. Because white people, the highest level of crime is white on white crime, right? So before you criticize black people for killing black people, understand that there's a bunch of white people killing white people, even in the suburbs, right? Because you can't have, God forbid, drugs and guns comes into these white neighborhoods. But since you guys have the power to control a lot of stuff, I'm pretty sure you allow those guns and drugs to be flooded into those neighborhoods. Come on now. Why is that? The air condition, that's pretty good. I mean, depending on where you at. Like if you're in an urban city, like Manila, the pollution would be bad. It's very crowded. It's super crowded. The trains are packed. It's a full city, you know? But it's a city that's not in America. So you got to understand that you're going to get a lot of poverty-stricken neighborhoods, you know? You're going to see some things that you're not used to seeing. You know, let's put it that way. I mean, in the Philippines, I was on my toes a lot. You know what I mean? You got to stay on your P's and Q's when you're in a foreign territory, right? You got to stay on your P's and Q's, you know, because crime in the Philippines, you got corrupt police departments. If you got money, you could pay people off. It's a lot of corruption in the Philippines because a lot of it is surrounded by money. So the person with the most money is the person with the power. And a lot of foreigners from America and from Europe, they come to the Philippines because it's a poorer country, and they take advantage of not only the people, but the conditions of the neighborhood as well. Yeah, that is true. That is true. You know, LA is quite dirty in certain environments. Yes. Oh, yes. That happened a lot in the Philippines. The power goes off. That's how I lost some connections with talking to you guys live. Randomly, the power just gets shut off, and they reset the whole meter again so they could charge you more money. That's the trick, right? You know. But the people there, I'm never going to take nothing bad away from the people. They're nice people. They're nice people. All right. They treat you very nice over there, you know. Um, but you still got to keep your wits about you, you know. One thing is the homeless people, when they ask for money there, they put their hand in your face like this. So they're almost demanding that you give them money. They'll tap you like that. Money, money, give it to me. Yeah, you know, yeah. I mean, there is crime in the Philippines, but for me, based off my experience, you got to really piss them off for them to really get at you. Because overall, they just like people. They're good-hearted people that just like to have a good time. They don't have. Some of them don't have much. They just want to eat. They want to celebrate. They want to hang out with their families. You know. Yeah, half of those kids are mixed race kids from foreigners because a lot of foreigners go there just to have a good time, get the girl knocked up, they go back to their country. That girl's stuck with a half American kid. And while she's stuck with that half American kid, she's online. Oh, you know, can you come to my country, take care of my kids? Some of them don't even tell you that they have kids. You know, that's how some people get spoke. Exactly. Exactly. You know, so I couldn't do some of the same things that I do in the States because I'm on a territory, okay? If they wanted to, if they really wanted to give me the business, they could have got me. They could have chopped me up to pieces in the province, throw my body in the river, burn it, whatever. And it would be no trace of me. Nobody would be able to find me because that's just how it is, you know? You know, there were some stories where I was there. You know, I don't want to get banned from YouTube, so I will tell you this in the most best way I could say. Kids, you know, 10-year-olds, 11-year-old, 12-year-old kids that happen to be girls. Groups of guys come to them, they jump in the backyard. Let's just say they violated the kid. You know, the kid is no longer on this earth. You know, they get away with stuff like that. You know, pay people off. Cops, some of them are corrupted. You know, shoot you in the head with just from an argument, then plead and say it was self-defense. Yeah, you know, they get away with that. The healthcare system is not that good. Do not get sick in a foreign country. Make sure you bring your own products with you because they're not going to take care of you in some undeveloped hospital. Okay, now there is some places you could go that where people who have money go to, right? Because in the Philippines, being middle class is being rich. That's the difference. If you're middle class in the Philippines, you're rich. If you're middle class in the US, you're just middle class, right? Yeah, that's true. No. Now all rules apply very differently. Some countries are more developed than others. It's almost like being in the US. You could go to London and get treated like you're in the US, France, you know, Italy, these places got money. But when you go to other places, you know, because it's more cheaper to go to, and you know, it's more easier to have a better time because your money goes a long way. So that's why people go to certain other places. But some of these guys, these foreigners, some of them are American, some are European. These guys are fucking assholes to the core. You know, if a black guy did some of the stuff that they were doing, we would be locked up in jail. You know, the fact that they got away with so many stuff is crazy. That they can get away with so many stuff, you know, all because they got the power of the money. You know? Oh, really? See, I never been to India, but I know India is pretty ratchet. India, man, you gotta be on your P's and Q's over there too. Gotta be on your P's and Q's, you know. And the biggest ripoff is US owned territories. Hawaii is basically viewed as like its own country, but it's really owned by the US. So when you go there, you pay twice as much because they got these items shipped to the island and it costs more money to have those items shipped there. Technically, that should just be the US. Then you got Guam. Guam is also US owned, okay? They take the American dollar. They do just like back at home. That's the currency. But everything is twice as much money. They got their own flag, but they're US territories. So the US isn't just 50 states. They own 14 territories throughout this world. A lot of people don't know that. Yes, T. That's the people that I'm talking about. While you in a country like that, you can't help it but run into some of those weirdo guys. You know what I'm saying? I'll just leave it at that, you know. Yeah, Canada's expensive. Canada is just like America to a certain extent, you know. That's crazy. Now, rent is very cheap in the Philippines. You don't pay thousands of dollars for rent in the Philippines. You would pay stuff like 6,000 pesos. 6,000 pesos is $120 US money. That's rent. That's what you pay for rent. Now, you may look at yourself and say, hey, that's cheap. That's a good life. But when you go to that country, if you're not making money from the States, you have to apply to the rules of that country. So that $120 becomes a struggle to get because a lot of people in the Philippines, they get paid equal to just $1 an hour. So imagine how much money you're getting. You're not getting that much to pay that rent. Okay? Don't always look at something on paper. It's just like playing basketball. You look at the stats. You say, oh man, these stats are crazy. This guy must be the best. You can't just always go by that. You got to look at the situation. You got to watch the games. How is he getting his stats? The same thing when you go into these foreign countries. Just because it look good on paper don't mean it is good. Because if your expenses get taken away from you in America, you are stuck in the Philippines and you are stuck making Filipino money. And that's a struggle. You think there's a lot of jobs for foreigners in the Philippines? No, because they look at foreigners as guys that have money already. You don't go to the Philippines looking for work. You go to the Philippines as a retired guy that has money. You don't go there, this is a place where I'm trying to make a career out of. Nobody goes to the Philippines to have a career. You go to the US to have a career, you know? Yeah. See, it's different over there because they don't play them games over there, you know. You know how the Latino countries do. They rob you, they take all your stuff. But it's almost the same way. It's just almost similar situations in the Philippines. There's a lot of guys that came there, went broke, lost all their money. They can't get back. They can't get back to the States because if you're not a legal citizen of the Philippines, you have to pay a fee every month that you're there. And if you don't have the money to pay that fee, it goes up, 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 up. And if you don't have nobody holding you down, giving you money to pay that immigration fee, You are stuck. You cannot leave the country until you pay that immigration fee. So you got to know your rules. You're only allowed to stay in the Philippines for 3 months. Which, if you're an American citizen, you only could stay in the Philippines for 3 months. I was there for a year. So do the math. That means I had to pay the fee. I had to get taxed. You know, why you think I was talking about, you know, I was in a little situation in the Philippines because things didn't turn out the way it's supposed to. And you got to have a backup plan, but that's why I had a backup plan. Yes, exactly. So a lot of people keep saying, I'm going to move to the Philippines, man. I'm going to live good. Bro, you don't even have a job or have money. Where's the money going to come from? You ain't going to have an income coming from the U.S. all the time if you're not working, you know? Where you going to get the income from? This American money that you could convert into Filipino money if nobody's holding you down and you ain't working to get the money. How? Think about that. People don't think before they do things. Always think about the situation. Just don't look at it. Just don't go by on the situation on paper. Look at your situation. You know, yeah, it's cheap to live there. You know, what happens when you spend all that vacation money? That vacation money going, you're not retired. You don't have the luxury of, you know, getting certain money, you know. But if you are retired and you're getting, I don't know, even $1,000, $2,000 a month, it could go a long way in the Philippines. You know, if you have it on a card or whatever, you could send the money to yourself and exchange it in Western Union, whatever way you got to do, you know, then that's a good living, right? But it costs more to live a good life in the Philippines than it is in the U.S. because the U.S. got more hustles. The U.S. got more ways to manipulate or take advantage of, you know? Dig this. Let me drop some game on y'all. Having an iPhone in the U.S. is just normal, right? But if you have an iPhone in the Philippines, that's considered rich. Having a car in the Philippines, that's considered rich. This is everyday stuff for us here in the States, right? So think about what it would cost for you to live a good life. You're going to get charged double the money because a lot of that stuff is not from the Philippines, so it gets imported, right? Some of it Apple is from America, so Apple gets imported from the States to the Philippines. They charge you double the money for an iPhone than they would charge you here in the States. Here in the States, you could just sign up with T-Mobile. You could sign up with Sprint. You could sign up and get your iPhone for half the price and just pay it off. You can't do that over there. There's no deals like that. You know, there's no Amazon holding you down. There's no, you know, get this credit and pay it off later type of stuff. You know, there's more advantages when it comes to getting things in the U.S., you know, so got to be careful. Got to be careful. But I'm not saying you can't live good life in the Philippines. You can if you just have income coming in, you know, and you don't get caught up, you know, because you're a target every time you go outside. You got jewelry on, that's somebody's rent, that's somebody's food, you know. You go into the wrong part of the city, you run into them goons, because they do got goons in the urban environments, not in the suburbs, which we call province. Go to Manila wearing jewelry. Show off wearing that jewelry you like. Go into a poverty-stricken neighborhood looking like $1 million and see what happened to you. Yeah, that is true. That is true. The simplest things that you take for granted here in the U.S. is a way of luxury in the Philippines. Think about that. You know, so it really opens up your eyes, you know. So be careful when you walk in them streets, especially when you're in an urban environment, because them dudes is hungry. They got to put food on their plate. Okay, they got families. Some of these dudes got kids, 3, 4 kids, mother nagging them. When you going to be a man and make some money? When you going to put some food on the plate? It's just like almost the same type of aggression that you would get from your wife in the U.S., right? No. Go out there and make some money for, the family. Bring the bread home. That's what that Filipino girl is looking at that guy to do. He don't do it. What you think she going to do? Oh, there's a foreigner right there. There's a U.S. guy right there. There's a European guy right there. Family broken up. short of terms, That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. So be on the lookout for that, Then the guy, and you know what jealousy and envy do to a guy. He sees his wife, mother of his kids, with a foreigner. I've seen a lot of this. I mean, because I'm watching it. Young girls, 18, 19 years old, they with some old, fat, out of shape, Pillsbury Doughboy, half Roseanne, half Ricky Lake, mixed with Oprah, all of that rolled into one. And they with a 18, 19-year-old girl, and she only known the guy for 10 minutes, and she's sitting there, I love you. You only know the guy for 10 minutes. He's so damn stupid. He falling for the game, Yeah, you could do that, but the American cards don't work at the ATMs in the Philippines. You got to get a card that's from the Philippines, But yeah, try doing that stuff, man. It's the weirdest stuff because these dudes, they be acting like, dog. She looking at you as food. The only thing she see is food. She look at your face, your whole body. She see food that comes in the shape of a dollar sign. That's all she see. And this guy is these guys, these European dudes, these Americans, they fail to be successful in America. So they go to these foreign countries to try to take advantage of people. Little do they know, these girls are running game on them. You get you get game run on you in the US, and you go to the Philippines, you get these girls do the same shit to you. I'll be laughing my ass off and see how these guys just be getting played like that, Meanwhile, a lot of these do, and these guys will tell you, because I know a lot of guys here in the States that got duped. They sending money, right? Meanwhile, they sending money to this so-called girl that they think they like. She already got kids with another guy, laying up with the other guy with kids. You sending money just to take care of, her living conditions. She ain't telling you she with such and such that live across the street from her house. Gotta be careful for you guys that go to foreign countries. Don't become a simp. Use your mind, use your head, because they out there. Then these guys, man, I spent thousands of dollars on it. Suck me dry. They be getting you. That's some of these stories, man. Some of these dudes is crazy, T. They think that they only know these people for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, Then all of a sudden they think they like, man. Yo, Z, I'm just telling y'all, man, be careful. T, he already know what's up. T is from California. He's from the Bay, so he know the game. He know the game like the back of his hand. I mean, it is what it is. But some guys are just foreign to this, especially white guys from the suburbs. They don't know what the hell they doing. That's how they get got. These are the same guys that had problems. Some of them don't have problems. Some of them have like failed situations in the US, and they looked at it like, hey, it's just too pricey to be with the ones here. So let me go over there. It's the same shit. Because when you bring them back, Some of them could get American lines, you know. Don't get me wrong, there are some ones that down and know they own their stuff, you know. My wife is a foreigner, but she was already set, you know. It's not like, you know, I was some knight in shining armor. I had, you know, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? She already had her stuff. She already was a independent, well put together woman, you know, that knows what she wants in life, you know. You genuine, you know. Some of these, one thing about people there, they're loyal. A lot of them are loyal until they find out you're doing them dirty. But some of these guys, these simps, those girls these people that you're talking to, they know you're trying to run game on them. So they do the same thing. They do the same thing to you. They just do it with a smile. They do it with a smile on their face. That's all. That's the difference. So be careful. You know, but it's a very interesting world going to foreign countries. Very interesting, man. You know, it's a whole world out there full of adventure, full of bunch of stuff, you know. I get a lot of love out there. I'm sure y'all saw the video. The kids run up on me. They call me Spider-Man. You know, my nickname there is Spider-Man because on the basketball court, you know, people say I'm, you know, got a lot of moves, you know, arms are a little bit long, you know, T-Mac long arms and all this stuff. But little do they know, I'm Spider-Man for them because they never seen a guy athletic like me. But if you come to the States, you can see a bunch of guys athletic like me. You know, so it is what it is. That's right. That's right, T. That's right. So my experience there was always, you know, they always came at me with respect, man. You know, a lot of guys over there, you know, they call me P. Only the kids call me Spider-Man, you know, because I'm playing basketball on the court. They give me my props. You know, they give me my props. You know, so it's when they know that you real, they don't mess with you. You know, but if they think that you got some hidden agenda, they're gonna try to play you. You know, if they think they don't sense nothing real in you, because a lot of these people, they hear stories. Well, I could do this, I could do that, I could live here and be this, I could live here, do here and do that. And you realize when you get here, it's not a pot of gold. It's not always green. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. You know, that's how some of these dudes get caught. You know, ego could get you killed. Your ego could get you killed. Spicy Augment, Spider-Man. Yeah, man. Your ego could get you killed. You know, always check your ego at the door sometimes, you know. Because the minute you start thinking that you high above everybody, you know, it gets you caught up. Your ego could get you in types of trouble that you shouldn't even be in, you know. How you think guys go to the hood and get shot, get robbed, when they had no business going there anyway? Some of these people are just visitors. You know, they ain't going, they ain't not even residents of the hood. If you have no reason to go to the hood, don't go to the hood. Why would you just go there for no reason? Just to try to stroke your ego, prove to the world that, hey, I could be on the block. You know, look at me with my jewelry. You know, I run the block. That's an ego thing. That same ego is going to get you killed. It's going to get your stop box robbed. Before you know it, you like Samuel Jackson and Jackie Brown. Is that what I think it is? What do you think it is, nigga? Feels like a gun pressed up against my. Remember that movie? You know, that's what it's gonna be. That's what it's gonna be. I'm from the hood. You don't see me going to everybody's hood. For what? If I know the same element is in every single hood, why would I go to that? And I'm not in need of that. I don't need to buy drugs. I ain't selling it. You know, I ain't no simp. So everything that the hood is offering, if you don't know nobody there, what's the point of going there? You know, if you from the neighborhood, you know people, you're going there to see your moms, you're going whatever. That's normal. But if you absolutely a stranger to a neighborhood, why are you going there? You know, that's right. That's right. I mean, this is how some people live. Even here on YouTube, people would tell you, "Oh, you this, you that. You think you this, you think you that." No. If I talk a certain way, that's whatever environment I'm come from, and that's what you learn. You are a product of your environment if you really from the block, because you grow up listening and hearing this guy talk, that guy talk, and you get your style from the block. You know, that's right. You know, that's how it is. You know, so just always know that as a man, you don't have to always respond to everybody. Some people not worth a response. Actually, when you don't respond to them, that yeah, that ethers them themselves, right? Sometimes people shoot their own selves in the leg, you know. So just always take key to that, you know. You ever ran into somebody that said, "Oh, fuck that nigga. I don't rock with that nigga. I don't want to be with that nigga." But you see him always talking about that same guy. You see him always around that same guy that he claims is so fake that he hates. Why are you with him then? What does that make you that you hanging around a guy that you claim is a sucker or you claim is trash or whatever? You know, don't make no sense. I know if I don't like somebody, we don't get along, whatever the case may be. Why would I waste my time hanging with you when I could waste my time, spend my time that I have on this earth with people that support and got my back? Always put yourself in positions to prosper. Never put yourself in positions to fail. Okay? Never. If you know somebody is trying to do you dirty, they don't get the best intentions for you, why are you hanging around with them for? Why are you giving them your time when this other person right here next to you, supporting you from day one, rocking with you from day one? You should put some more time and energy into them and just let those other people do what they do. Now, there is a truth to keep your friends close, keep your enemies even closer. Yes, you're supposed to do that, but that don't mean you need to try to rock with them. Okay, that's what that means. You know. He said it's all Jesus. Yo, Z, what happened? I'm trying to figure out what Z is talking. What happened? Is there something in the comment section going on? What's going on? You know. So that's the best advice I could possibly give you if you're traveling overseas or you just going to certain communities around here. You know, it's 2023, man. You got to think smart. But life is different, man. People here, you got kids, some kids 13 years old, don't know what the hell they doing. No, don't even know why they got that gun in their hand, but they clapping people. You know, you gotta be careful, man. know what I'm saying? So, but I did my top 10 for best rappers. Top 10 for best NBA players that's currently playing in the league. I had LeBron at 10, you know, Kawhi at 9, you know. So, and the pit is short. I had Giannis first. You know, I still got Giannis as the best player in basketball. This list is definitely bound to change, especially when the playoffs come, you know. You bet. Wait. You don't want T to enter Florida. What? But yeah. Mm. Oh, yeah. Well, mm. Now, it was New Year, so I know y'all got some of y'all did y'all little New Year celebration. You know, I had my New York style pizza here in LA. You know, I had that over here. I got back. I got back here a little late because this travel was long. You ever sit on a plane for so long that your body gets stiff? Even when you get up, you're still stiff. And plane rides sometimes take so long, bro. Like, man, you really need like some other form of entertainment to keep you busy. You know, sometimes that the free movies don't work. You know, the food, sometimes the free food they give on a plane, sometimes that's crappy. You don't want to eat that. You know, it is what it is, man. So yeah. But what else? As far for food goes, man, it depends where you go. Some countries got some good food, man. Filipino food wise, they got a lot of good meat and rice dishes. You know, they do have a lot of foods that you could find here in the States, but you got to really look for them. And they're only in urban environments. You know, if you like Starbucks, Coffee Bean, KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, they have some of those same places there. They're mainly in the urban environments though. They're not really in like, um, province or neighborhoods where there's a little bit of people, you know. So yeah. Oh yeah, man. Yo. Yo, T, you know how it is though, man. It's fucking crazy. You know? Sometimes you get put next to that person that don't want to sit next to you or acting like they don't want to sit next to you. You know, they're a little conscious of everything. They got that COVID-19 fear, you know, to the extreme, you know. So it's it's an experience, man. It's definitely an experience, you know. But on my plane ride going back to the US, I sat next to this American dude, you know, so he was coming back to the US too. So he was just telling me his story, right? He was in all these other countries and stuff like that. He was a pretty cool dude, you know. So he was all right, you know. He talked a little bit too much. Sometimes you get tired. You just want to go to sleep. But somebody keep nagging you, telling you, oh, look at the story, look at this. And then, soon those lights go off, the plane's in the air, everybody's fucking quiet. You just want to sleep. You don't want how you like your trip so far. You know, dog, just let me relax. You know, I don't want your phone number. I don't want to be your best friend. But sometimes, you know, it's good to communicate with people. If they spark interest, they spark a conversation of interest. You may not want to sleep no more because they're keeping you entertained. They talking, you know. But it all depends on the person that you're sitting next to. Sometimes it's a strikeout. They don't spark no interest. You know, you're just going to be like, yeah, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, they had this lady that wanted to use the bathroom, and the plane is about to land, and the flight attendants are telling her, "Get back in your seat." You know, then she look at them like, "Who are you talking to like that? Get back in your seat." It was so crazy. She like screamed at this lady in was so much disrespectful fashion. The lady, when she yelled, when that flight attendant raised her voice, that lady went from, you know, who you talking to, okay. She sat down like a little schoolgirl. It was the craziest shit. She went from acting tough to acting like a scared little schoolgirl when that girl told her to sit down. You know, you can't be walking while the plane's about to land. You know the rules. You know, when you walking around with the plane, you gotta have your seatbelt on. You gotta sit down. That's what they want you to do. You know, they don't want to catch a case you walking around the plane and the plane trying to land and it's bumpy and you fall down and get hurt. You know, a lot of stuff is to prevent cases. They don't want to lose no money. They don't want to have to give you no special treatment. They don't have to give you no free this, no free that. Because they know once you get hurt, you could, oh, my leg. That's what they know. They know that can happen, you know? And you know what I'm saying? That's just the whole situation of that, you know? But nevertheless, man, it's good to travel. Get out there. Like you only get one life, you know, on this earth. Make it the best that you can, you know? Do what's best for you. Do what you enjoy, you know? It is what it is. You know? See what you got? Florida Savage, Ricky Ross. Now, what happened to Rick Ross? Does he even still make music? Haven't heard about him for a hot minute, you know. But yeah, man, that's just what it is, man. You know. We've been on here 2 hours and something, so I'm about to head out a little bit. But before I head out, I want to say Happy New Year's to everybody. You know, enjoy, man. You know what I'm saying? Best of wishes. Have everything come to you that you worked for. If you feel like you work for something, you bust your ass off for it, keep grinding, you know? Even if you don't meet your goal, you're going to get something out of it, you know? Isaiah Thomas once said, hard work doesn't guarantee success, but without hard work, you don't even stand a chance. So let that sink in, all right? You may not always get what you want in life, but if you keep grinding, you keep working towards the goal, you're going to get started in the direction that you may not even know is better for you. And you're going to be like, oh, it was all worth it. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind. You know, peace. I'm out.